Hi, Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the DUM show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. We've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Why don't you smile?
I don't
Why
know.
don't you ever smile? You should just smile. Just want to dance. Can I have some pickles?
Who told you needed to smile?
Can I have some pickles?
Pickles.
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 Someone get this lady some pickles stat. I don't know. You know, I was talking about my resting poo-poo face the other night, and I was just like, you know, somebody said, you should smile. You're so angry. It's like, dude, we're sitting here after a long day. I have been on all damn day, cutting videos, posting articles, just owning liberals on Twitter. I got blocked by a major blue checkmark, blue anon-con. He blocked me today, which was great.
Bummer.
Yeah, I said he's like, you have a weird brain and blah blah blah. I said, well, here's my points of why you're wrong. And I said, but if you'd like to have a debate and wax intellect and compare gray matter, I'd be more than acquiesce to your request. And he blocked me. And I'm like, so I went on my Matt Spear. I'm like, you're a fucking pussy. You're such a pussy. I'm like, I only block people who call me a Nazi. You know, give me a break. Give me a break. He's like, you are a Nazi. I'm like, I'll make sure to tell my Holocaust grandmother that in seance. I'll reach out to her and we'll bring her back from the dead, and I'll tell her you said so. So he was like, well, Donald Trump's a jerk and all he does is spread disinformation. So my post was, that got me banned, was pot, kettle, Wonder Bread. And he got rid of me. Because he's a Hotchkiss. He's a white boy in the Air Force. Chair Force. What'd you do in the Air Force? Supply. Oh. So you're like Majewski from Ohio. You flew in a cutter, so therefore you call yourself behind enemy lines. Okay. All right, buddy. You're under sniper fire in Bosnia. You flew Hillary Clinton in, huh? You and Hillary Clinton were dodging sniper fire in Bosnia. Even veterans can be clowns. Good to have you here, honey. Welcome. It's been a long week. You've worked so hard, and your treat tonight is to have copious amounts of sex with me. So it just gets better every day.
All right, that's a wrap, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody. We're leaving.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt.
We're just kidding. But we did come on early exactly for that reason. We're early, and we're like, let's go on early so that we can get off early, literally.
Oh, do you know the kids have a 3-day weekend?
I hope your mom's not watching. Is your mom watching?
No, she had to drive the girls home.
I just don't want her to know we've had sex because, you know, I mean.
If my mom found out we'd had sex, she still thinks I'm a virgin. Oh,
I'm
no.
so much. It's like immaculate conception.
It is. Both of them. So
How'd
how
you have
that
kids?
happened.
Immaculately. You know, I rolled over. She rolled over. It just happened. It was a complete accident. So an interesting thing. I did a show at 1400. Or 1600. So I woke up from my nap, which I take a nap every day, no matter what. And it's a hockey player military thing. You take a nap whenever you can. So I took a nap. Tommy says, you'll be back in 30 seconds. You give me way too much credit. It only took 7. And half of that was transitioning to the commercial. So I'm already done, dude. It was just like, and then done. Maybe that's a little. Look satisfied. So 1600, I wake up and I'm like, I'm not going to do a recorded show. And then I'm like, I was trying to convince myself not to do a live show too. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't think I'm going to do either. You know, I'm just going to call out sick again because I haven't been feeling good, you know, and my chest is I'm just getting over the pneumonia. So it's like now my chest is tight and the bronchial tubes are not tubes, whatever that shit. The bronchioles are starting to, you know, get some feeling again, and the cilia and all that shit that's in the lungs. Anyway, so I get this thing, and it's Mike Lindell, and it's like a minute and a half, and he gets on there. He's like, Fox News canceled me, and all this other stuff. And I start looking at the date. I'm like, January 12th, huh? Radio and advertising has to have their budgets in and signed back by the 15th because radio, its quarter officially ends like between the 15th and the 20th of the month because of billing and net 30, 60, 90, and all that shit. It's just. So I'm like, this is odd. So I start diving in and researching. And of course, all these other people are like, all the conservative stations, Mike Lindell's canceled. Mike Lindell's canceled. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Mike Lindell's not the most credible human being in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and sniff this out. And of course, I like smelling a lie like a fart in a car. I do a video and I do some research. And I put my show out at 1606, I think is when I made the prediction. Hold on, let me see. You see when I did this. I mean, because, you know, if I can brag, I'm always going to take that opportunity. I mean, let's be honest. What time did I do that, Liv?
I don't know.
I know.
Still
I'm just talking. Hold on, let's find out. Good afternoon. Welcome to the ports, where firm pause the primary. Pretty confident in my judgment. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know Mike Lindell. I am not I'm not really an investor in his company. I've never sold his product, and I'm not even a consumer of his product. But I will tell you is that this is a multifaceted situation, and I certainly don't want to be making any claims that aren't accurate. My job is to look at all the evidence, take my personal experience, and give you my best estimated guess. I'm pretty confident in my judgment. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. What do you think? All right, so 1654. 1654, that was cut. It went to press and was ready to go for distribution. And first article confirming was January 12th at 5:45 Eastern. Mike Lindell protests Fox News hating my pillow ads.
Halting.
Did you say halting?
You said hating.
I'm tired. cut me some slack. Fox News hating my pillow ads. They hate them.
Comical break in progress.
That's right. Comical break in progress. As network says he hasn't paid his bills. I mean, slam dunk. You know? I mean, I'm on a roll. And it feels pretty good. Now, here's my next. So now that I've got that and I've got my mojo going, I want to do something before we get to the videos. Everyone, you know what my thoughts have been with Trump, right? Trump needs what in order to win?
A female vice president.
Yeah. And in my opinion, I think that really, I mean, he may not need that, right? He might pick Vivek Ramaswamy and win. He might pick Christy Lake and win. He needs somebody. And Nikki Haley, 3 years, I've said, and I know she's getting a lot of hate. And the reason why she's getting hate, the reason why Rand Paul and, Loomer and DeSantis and everyone's hitting her is because she's leading. And with Christie out, the preliminary polls is that she's going to poll to tie with Donald Trump in New Hampshire. And state polls are inherently accurate, especially in New Hampshire, which is always a bellwether for the primaries. And it's close. And the reason why is libertarians can vote and Democrats can vote. So there's going to be the anti-vote. Democrats are going to come out just to go ahead and try to hurt Trump. So this is serious, man. This is freaking serious. So they're all coming out. She's a RINO. She's a neocon. She's going to take us to war. And you're just like, okay, but all that may be true. But people really haven't even asked me like my real prediction. Like what happens if Nikki Haley gets second in Iowa and gets real close, wins New Hampshire, and then somehow we have a contested election at the RNC, and she goes for president? Which, okay, like, dude, like I'm like 95% sure if Trump's not in jail, Trump's going to win the ticket. She's just not ready for president. But nobody's asked me. That's the only question I haven't gotten, Liv. Everyone else has asked me everything else except that. And I've had an answer for, honestly, it's like the second part of my whole thing. Because when the establishment switched for Haley and left DeSantis and all these big donors came in, it's not necessarily deep state, but the consistent conservative party, uniparty / neoconservative big donors and big money, they've moved for Haley. So what's the next equation do you see if Haley got that ticket, or they start pushing for your ears falling off, by the way, your microphone, pull it. Okay. I know your ears are like literally the size of like apricots, dehydrated, sliced apricots.
Yeah, I got
in half. Ears. So what's the next step? Is say Haley just gets the ticket. What's going to happen? What's her decision going to be? Let's see if you can do this.
If she wins the RNC to be
she's the candidate for president of the United States. What's she going to do? I know she's not going to play second fiddle to Trump. This is what the establishment is thinking, is that she can go in and place in Iowa very strong and New Hampshire, and then it's going to be a contest. And it will be. If people believe she can actually win, people will rally to Nikki Haley. We just need to understand that. I already showed you this. Trump's base is not as strong as it once was. And you just need to realize that. Now, they will all come home to roost because nobody's going to vote for Biden. But right now, there's the numbers where if she gets enough support and she places in Iowa and wins in New Hampshire, it's not going to look good for Trump. And people like to go with a winner. I've seen this before. Listen, Trump is not as strong as he was in 2016. He's certainly not as strong as he was in 2020. He's got a lot going for him, but he's got a lot to make up for. He's certainly not in a better position than he was in 2020 and 2016, especially in 2016. So you either can call in and argue with me on that, and I'll shut you down and prove you wrong, or we can go ahead and just trust me that I'm right, which I am. So now that we understand that I am, the question that I have for you is, what is her next step? Say she wins it, which she won't, but let's say she does. What happens next?
She's got to pick a VP candidate.
Right. Who's she going to pick? Don't be a knucklehead. Don't be a knucklehead.
I know Trump wouldn't place.
Okay, good.
Little
So don't
hair.
even say it.
So I would.
So
I
don't
would think
even say it.
maybe DeSantis.
That's the only choice, because DeSantis brings his votes over. Money's been invested from the big ticket items, and DeSantis never said he wouldn't be a vice president. He said he would never be a vice president for Donald Trump. Vivek Ramaswamy said he would be, in not so many words today, that he would be the vice president for Donald Trump. So this is what the establishment is hoping for: is Nikki Haley gets the lead. She goes ahead and picks DeSantis. They unify support. It brings in the Christian conservatives. It brings in the female vote. It pulls enough votes away from Trump where Trump ultimately has to back out and hand it over to Haley. That's what they want. Will it happen? No. But I'm just letting you know.
Do you think if that were to happen, Trump would run as an independent?
Okay, hold on. Nikki Haley's not raising the... Okay. Folks, Social Security needs to be fixed. And if she raises the age for Social Security, nobody in this chat is going to be infected. In fact, 30-year-olds and below will probably be affected. When they do need to raise Social Security, we're living longer, and Social Security can't fund itself. It can't even stay on its own merit. People are living longer. It needs to be raised. But it doesn't need to be raised for this generation who has paid into it. It needs to be raised for the generation who's 40 years away, 45 years away. So what they would do is they would have a cutoff date. If you were born before 1995 or whatever the hell it would be, whatever, I don't care. You officially go ahead and you can retire at this age. If you are born before that, you would retire at this age. That's all they're talking about.
It does need to happen.
It does need to
People
happen.
Are healthier, they're living longer, and
it can't fund itself right now. And they're like, oh, well, I only get 5 to 10 years of, well, then work out and take care of yourself. I don't know what to tell you. Then don't use Social Security as a retirement option. Use it as a secondary income. Make smart, sound investments. Invest in a business. Start dealing drugs. Listen, I'm not your fiduciary.
break bad and start making meth.
Start making meth. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not your accountant, but figure it out. But if you're relying on Social Security to be there when you die, listen, Olivia and I know what we're going to do. We're going to sell this house. This is our investment. We're going to sell it for whatever it is, and then we're going to buy a motor home. We're going to travel the United States. That's all we're going to do, and we're never going to see our kids. We're going to go off the grid. That's what we're going to do. We already know. We're going to go to Safeway every night and buy steak and whatever, and have copious amounts of sex and alcohol, and be those old people who make love in a canoe going down the river. So anyway, we got to go, folks. Sorry. Even that sounds good.
Adjusting transmitter output.
All right. So anyway, so that's what the establishment wants. Now, everyone's like, Donald Trump won't pick Haley. You guys have to understand. You're making it sound like he won't pick Haley because he has a choice. Donald Trump needs to run a national election, and the only way you're going to get that is through RNC dollars. The only way you're going to get those dollars from those big donations and those super PACs is by doing what the RNC wants you to do. Do you think Mike Pence was Donald Trump's first choice? Are you kidding me? Mike Pence was not Donald Trump's first choice. They went to him and said, you need a Christian conservative. You need someone who is an established Republican on the ticket, and Mike Pence delivers the parts of the Rust Belt that you don't have right now. And this is the same thing with Dan Quayle. It's the same thing with Joe Biden. Barack Obama, you need to make the white vote palatable. This is Joe Biden. But it's also not going to upset the African-American population because he's extremely popular with the African-Americans, and he certainly was at the time. So Sarah Palin is a perfect example. John McCain literally was older than dirt. He played baseball when it was a square. Okay? So you bring in youthful, really good-looking Sarah Palin. You prime her for one debate, so she actually kills it, and she did great on that debate, and then she literally just melted down because there's only so much you can store in like 5 kilobytes of storage space.
I can see Russia from my house.
Twice. And, so here's...
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, no, cricket, that's inside Sarah Palin's brain. That's literally one solitary cricket, just rubbing its legs together and firing off a few neurons. So that's why you pick a VP, is to win area that you can't. Lyndon Baines Johnson's a perfect example. You think Kennedy, an uppity elitist who was born with a silver spoon, is going to pick some redneck cowboy from South who's a complete racist. Give me a freaking break. He delivered Texas, which delivered the White House to Kennedy. So the vice president is not picked on merit, and it doesn't matter what the constituents want. They'll get over it. You pick Nikki Haley because she brings the woman vote. She brings the minority vote, and it also softens Republicans on abortion. Think. She pitches abortion, and people will listen. They don't have to like her. They just have to go ahead and say, there's a lot of people who do. And right now she's popular. And unless she says something completely batshit stupid, it very much makes sense that Donald Trump picks her for VP. If he picks Carrie Lake, he's done. If he picks Noem, maybe. You don't understand. The other choices are unknown. And women don't like Vivek Ramaswamy. They already don't like Trump. They're not going to like Vivek. So you need to understand Republicans need, and I'll show you why tonight. I'll explain it to you why. Okay.
He can't pick Vivek or whatever.
Vivek. Who gives a shit? Vivian.
Whatever his name
He's
is.
whiter than you.
Because Trump is an arrogant asshole. You don't need to.
At times, he wasn't last night.
No, he was great last night.
He was great
but
last night.
He's very arrogant, and you don't need two arrogant men on the same ticket. Because Vivek is very arrogant and full of himself.
Yeah, president chooses the VP in name only. It's really the RNC. The RNC hedges their bets. They establish who's going to win, who's going to deliver, and they put in somebody who's going to ultimately balance out the ticket. Vivek Ramaswamy does not balance out the ticket. I'm sorry. And you know what? If he goes with him, great, he goes with him. But that's not a winning ticket. Women will not vote for Vivek and Donald Trump. It basically is a sausage fest. Women want a woman. Republicans want a woman. Not all. A lot of women say that a woman shouldn't be in politics, but I disagree. Nikki Haley.
I'm not going to vote for a woman in politics just because she's a woman.
Right.
Case in point, Hillary Clinton. But
Vivek thinks he's in for VP, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. We need to he's not even getting invited to the debates. Do you understand? The RNC doesn't like him. Republicans don't like him. He is a change chaos candidate. Everything I have said is turning out as I foretold. Your destiny is awakening, young Skywalker.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Dude, I called this shit 3 years ago, okay? And what else did I tell you? Come on, who's going to say it? Who's going to say it? I told you about DeSantis. I told you about Nikki Haley. What did I say about Biden? How's he going to win? No, don't do it, Liv. How did I tell you guys? What did I say? What did I say was going to happen? Come on, put it out here. Who's going to do it? Come on. How soon should they make their V picks? Honestly, if it's Donald Trump, he's not going to do it until the convention because he can't. He's got to wait till Haley polls out. DeSantis said he won't do it. And I've already told you, if DeSantis doesn't win Iowa, DeSantis might just fold tent. Vivek will not. Vivek's going to stay in it till the end. And it won't matter because he's going to be like Kasich. He's just going to be a no-name. He's going to push 4 to 6% of the vote, but he's not going to get on the ballot. He doesn't have enough votes. War. That's right. I've told you for 3 years. 3 years I've been telling you. Joe Biden, the only way he stays in and wins is war. What's happening? Are you watching? Folks, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just really good at this shit. I have told you that war. And how do I know this? Because it happens all the time. This isn't the first time a president has gotten involved in a major conflict to maintain power and stay elected. Folks, what would you do to save millions of dollars? Like if you were a multimillionaire, what would you do to save it? To know that if you lost your job, that the chances of you making this amount of money again, what would you do to save your job? Anything? What would you do to save your lifestyle? What would you do once you had power?
Made sure that it didn't change.
That's it.
And pretty much do anything to make sure it doesn't
There
change.
are billions of dollars here. I told you Joe Biden would get into a war and get in a conflict, probably with the Middle East. I told you 3 months ago it was going to be Yemen. The United States was going to get involved bombing one of two places, Lebanon or Yemen. Guess which one it was? And I said they're going to hit the Houthis. What did they do? They hit the Houthis. I told you. And you know what? Who was sitting over here? It was Mike. And what did Mike say? Mike's like, I don't know if they're going to hit Yemen. And guess what? They did. No, that was Leroy. Whoever it was.
It was Leroy.
It was Leroy.
Mike usually agrees with you.
Leroy, Mike, and I usually agree. But I said it's going to be Yemen. What was it? It was Yemen. And I said, why? And I said, because they're going to hit them in the Red Sea and they're going to launch their freaking cruise missiles at our ships because they're the only one in the region who has the ability to hit naval vessels. And that's what they're going to do. And what did they do? And what did we do? We bombed them. I told you this was going to happen. Everything I've said is laying out exactly like I said it was going to lay out.
Again,
and the funny thing is,
need to be a political advisor.
There's no
Somebody needs to hire you.
There's no conspiracy theory here. There's none, not once, because all I did was tell you this is what I think will happen. And guess what? It has. And the difference between me and like guys like At War Clandestine is I'm actually right. And I don't say crazy shit about Columbine and Sandy Hook. This isn't hard, folks. It's not like this is all not in front of you and laying in front of you. I told you this was going to happen because it's in the cards. It's you don't change out a wartime president. You don't. And Joe Biden, the only way he stays in office is war because he's shit, just like Carter was. Okay, so trust me when I tell you about Haley, and I'm not saying 100%.
What made you?
Carrie just said I predicted Yemen also. Okay, anyway, what channel? Whatever, doesn't matter. So, Yemen is not an easy win. No, it's not. Yemen's not an easy win at all. Who told you that? They have the most advanced cruise missiles. They have ICBMs. What are you talking about? The Houthis are one of the strongest and most well-prepared defense terrorist groups in the region, in the world. They have cruise missiles. You understand what those are? They can hit our fleet. They have ICBMs. Non-nuclear.
So why did we go after them?
We didn't go after them. We're protecting ourselves, and we had to hit them and have to bomb them because our ships are vulnerable. Our ships can't maintain forever. The armaments that it takes to reload our certain systems that I can't talk about. Well, I can say Aegis and Sea-Wiz, but there's other systems that we have that ultimately protect our fleet, but that's not indefinite, especially in a place where we can't maneuver in the Red Sea. The Red Sea is a very narrow channel. That isn't very wide. So it's not an area where you can have a condensed group and it can be hit. If the Houthis do a full-scale attack and not just probe, and they launch multiple sets of Tomahawk missiles at the same area in the same areas of the fleet, they can hit our ships. So we had to hit those spots. We didn't have a choice.
Got it. Question.
So, what?
Thomas on Rumble would like to know, he heard today that Iran has grabbed a U.S. flagged tanker. Is that correct?
Wouldn't be surprised. You can look it up, but I haven't heard anything. Actually, let's go find out together.
Okay.
Is she doing Fosse Lati dough out there? Is that what I'm hearing from our child? I think they're
warming up, and they're probably.
We're talking about our kids.
Yeah, they're probably practicing because her friend she has over just got into the play. So I think they're practicing.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm so pissed off at this site. I pay for it, too, and they're really starting this crap. So is Iran?
Yeah.
I ran so far away. Dude, I pay for this. Why am I getting all these ads? Now, I'm assuming it was in the Gulf. Bashir. No, it's not going to be by Bashir. It's not Bahrain. Here, it's going to be Bandar. No. Maybe in the Straits. Straits is territorial. I can't imagine that. Well, they're showing some activity down here. Tanker, look at that. It only took me a few seconds. Sorry. Reuters, a tanker detained by East Amman is the St. Nicholas and carries Iraqi oil. UKMTO has received a port report vessel being boarded. Unauthorized persons approximately at 0300 UTC. Unable to make further contact. It happened in right outside the straits. Yeah, I wouldn't expect the straits to be. Tanker, which Iranians have boarded today in the Gulf of Oman, is the St. Nicholas, carrying Iraqi oil, formerly known as the Suez Rajan. I don't think that's I don't think that's a U.S. initial vessel. I think that was a seized vessel by the United States. Let me see if I can confirm that. Hey, Liv, look up the St. Nicholas, St. Nicholas oil carrier, and see if that was hit by the United States of America, please, and seized by the United States of America. Oh, wait, it's right there. She was seized by the U.S. government for having transported 1 million barrels of Iranian oil already. So this is a recaptured. So it's not an American vessel. No. But here it is. And there's a picture of her right there. So no, it was not a U.S. based. A lot of people want to know what site I use. This is a really good source of information. I've used this site my entire life. I used it in other forms. You can just go live UA map is what it is, and that's what I'll give you. But this is by far one of my best intel gathering pieces of software. It can give me the entire world's hotbed in a glance, and I use this in conjunction with several other interactive tools. But this is where I get most of my intelligence outside of the wire, which is unconfirmed reports. So there it is. Iran took a tanker that was previously taking Iranian oil and seized it back. So it's not a U.S. vessel, but it was a U.S. captured vessel. So yeah.
I got another question for you. Dia, there's no silly questions, by the way.
Sure there are. Wait, time out. Sure there are. A silly question is the one you already know the answer to. No. Hold on a second. Let people absorb that. People say there's no such thing as a stupid question, except the one you already know the answer to.
Except the one our children ask on a daily basis.
Right, and the one you know the answer to. That's a stupid question. But otherwise, it's a good question. Go ahead.
Why do we want to keep a wartime president?
Well, it's not that we want to. It's just that we have. I think there's been 4 major escalations, maybe 3 or 4, where we've actually changed out a wartime president. And you can take a look at FDR. And this goes on throughout history, is during a major conflict, you usually keep the president. George Bush is, for example, you kept him in office. This is just the way it usually goes. As wartime president, major conflict, it's just kind of a history that the American people don't change out a wartime president unless they can put that on that president. And in this case, it's going to be awful tough for them to put it on Joe Biden that Hamas and Hezbollah attacked Israel. I mean, they can go ahead and try, but ultimately, it's just no bueno. His reaction certainly is a big issue. But that's the answer to your question. Okay. All right, let's get to it. We got other stuff to do. But besides that, that's the interesting thing. So, do I imagine Donald Trump will pick Nikki Haley? If it can win him the election, he must. He has to.
I think at this point he's going to do what's going to get him elected. I think he realizes that if he goes off of what he wants to do, that he's not going to win. That's
the thing. He needs to listen, because this is going to be a very tight election. Whether it's going to be a tight election, it's not going to be a landslide. And a lot of people are saying it's going to be a landslide. I think you're very naive if you think this is going to be a landslide. I think Donald Trump has a very good chance because they rolled the dice on Biden. They wanted change, and it didn't work out. And because it didn't work out, I think there's a very good chance that Donald Trump has a chance. Now, that is, if all this could fall out from underneath Donald Trump very quickly, especially if all of a sudden he's held accountable for the indictments.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Here's my thing. A lot of people ask me, Matt, why do you support Donald Trump? I think support's the wrong word. Like, I don't give Trump my money. I don't use my show as a kickoff point for him. If he wanted to come on my show, he never would. But if he did, I would certainly entertain him being on. But I would also entertain Joe Biden on my show. So I would take anybody in the game to be on the show. But The reason I support Donald Trump is might be different from Olivia, and I'd like to get her opinion, is I've had enough. I am simply fed up with liberal politics. And I have witnessed this cacophony of shit my entire life. And I served under it and under Clinton. I got to see the damage firsthand, the result of Carter and his presidency. I got to see Obama and the suspension of habeas corpus and due process for American citizens. I got to see him spy on millions upon millions of American citizens and violate their right to privacy and their civil rights. I'm fucking done. I'm done with liberals. And Donald Trump might say mean stuff, and he might be an asshole, and he is. But you know what? The world needs one of those, because there are people who are trying to destroy our country, and they want to end the United States as we know it. And Donald Trump has the right mindset, which is fuck around and find out. And the reason why nobody messed with Ronald Reagan is because they knew that Ronald Reagan would use a nuke. Ronald Reagan is the only sitting president in United States history outside of Truman who would actually use a nuke. Donald Trump wouldn't use a nuke. He may now, but he wouldn't during his 4 years. Now, if he had to, if birds are exchanging in the night, he would use it. But Ronald Reagan had no problem using a nuke if he needed to, and he would have. He didn't care about that shit. And if North Korea got froggy, if Iran wanted to continue to play, he absolutely would have sent them into the Stone Age. So the Sea of Glass comment actually started out of the Reagan's administration. It wasn't a comic. It wasn't in a book. The Sea of Glass, turning the Middle East into the Sea of Glass, came out of the Reagan administration. So needless to say, the world needs somebody who is a little scary. And Donald Trump is a little scary. And the reason why nobody got froggy is because he would have taken them and thrown them in the pot. That's why I want Donald Trump as president. I don't give a shit if he bothers you. Good. I'm glad you're bothered. You should be bothered. Everybody should have a little fear. And the fact that Democrats are doing whatever they can, 91 indictments, give me a break. Capone, Ted Bundy, Enron, none of those people, none of the savings and loan scandal. You can go on and on and on. None of those had 91 indictments, for God's sake. 91 charges. Ted Bundy did not have 91 charges. Donald Trump, I don't give a shit about these indictments. I don't care about any of them. None of them. Classified documents, I don't give a shit. He's the president of the United States. If he can't be trusted, who can? I don't give a shit about his taxes. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care that he grabbed some woman by the pussy 25 years ago and she just decided to come out 6 different times over the last 20 years. And that she can't remember when and where and how and all this other bullshit. And somehow she goes into a lingerie booth with him and probably did. And they both got a little fingery. And all of a sudden she's screaming rape. Well, it doesn't sound like rape. It sounds like you went in there with him knowing exactly what you would get. Does that make him a good guy? No. Does it make it someone who I want to have over for dinner? No. Would I ever let him around my wife? No. But does that mean I have no problem with him running the country because of who he is? Absolutely. Because at this point, the only difference between Donald Trump and the rest of them, all of them, every single one of them, is that they are trying to hold him accountable for things and they never hold each other accountable for things. Because if you went through the litany of shit that all those politicians did, they would all be worse than Donald Trump. Every single one of them would be worse. He's had 4 years to rack up what supposedly he did. These guys have been there for 40 years. Give me a break. Joe Biden has been under investigation for the FBI for 14 years. Guess you guys didn't see that story, did you?
No, I didn't.
14 years they've had people inside his campaigns, administrations, everything else watching him. Give me a break. Donald Trump most assuredly is an asshole, but guess what? What he is not, in my opinion, I don't think he's a crook. I think that this guy has had hundreds of businesses and bankrupted 6. That's not a bad average. It's not a bad average. Yes, I think this guy's got invested into things that he shouldn't have, like his college campus and Trump University, and ultimately failed. Yes, I believe that he has stiffed carpenters' money because guess what? Contractors are pieces of shit. How do I know? Because I work with them. Not all of them, but most of them. Most contractors are dirtbags. So you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Because none of that has to do with where we're at. None of that has anything to do with my life. If Donald Trump is literally getting bribes or stealing state secrets or something to that effect, then pony up the proof and let's go. But all I see is a bunch of conjecture and a bunch of civil suits. Take him to the mat. Give me criminal charges. Put him through the criminal trials. Oh, it's coming, Matt. You know what? Fuck you, it's coming. It's been coming for 3.5 years. It's been coming since 2016. The day he was sworn in 2016, 3 hours after his swear-in, New York Times posted, let the impeachments begin. Give me a break. They all ran on it. They all said they were going to do it. So either they are the most clairvoyant sons of bitches, or these people have had it out for Donald Trump for a lot longer than he's been president. And that's the truth. Okay? So can we stop playing around? Can we stop joking around that somehow we're going to get justice from these people? Fine. So if they're all crooks, then damn it, be crooked. Just make sure you're crooked for our country. Make sure you're crooked for us. Make sure you're crooked for ensuring that our kids don't go over and die in endless wars. Make sure you're crooked in shutting the border down. And punish them. Don't punish us. Protect our country. Protect us from fentanyl. Protect us from dumping steel from China in here. Protect us from these things. Make us a world player. Stop frivolous spending. If you're going to be a crook, go be a crook against the world and take care of this country. And the only person who's done that, in my opinion, outside of Ronald Reagan, and honestly, whether you like it or not, Bill Clinton, who screwed over the military but otherwise did everything else fairly well. And if we could have him in office right now, I think everybody would jump at the chance. There really hasn't been anybody. And that's the truth. That's why I'm voting for Donald Trump. And if he's not in there, that's why I'll vote for Nikki Haley. And if she's not there, that's why I'll vote for DeSantis. And honestly, if neither of them are there, I'll vote for Vivek. Because I will vote for anybody who's not a liberal. Okay? But I will tell you, we have some things to address in our own party, and we're going to talk about that tonight. Liv, why are you voting for Trump?
Well,
or if you are going to.
Well, I mean, it depends on who is on the ticket. He's starting to impress me a little more. I'm not so anti-Trump right now that I was a couple months ago. So he's actually coming out and doing stuff. So that's always a plus. I mean, I want our economy back. I want where we were when he was in president. I mean, I always thought that our country needed a non-politician businessman as president.
Yeah.
That
so,
they would
so
do
the
a
rest
good
of the
job.
country.
And that's what Trump was. And I want our economy back. I want my gas prices back. I want my bills and groceries to be back to where they were. I mean, the country's gone to shit. The inflation's up, everything's up, and it's horrible right now. And I don't care what he says. I don't care about mean tweets. I don't care about what he says. I don't care about the comments. I don't care about any of that. Whatever. Just make our country back where it was. I really don't care what people do on their own time, what they tweet about, whatever. Just be good to the country. That's all I care about.
It's a base thought process. You know what? I've never apologized for liking Trump. I have held him accountable to the things that I don't like what he did. I thought, you know what I think was stupid what he did, but I'm not going to sit here and apologize for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a reason to. Let's get into a couple things, because this is there's some interesting stuff. I want to show you a video by Frank Lutz. Now, here is a prime example of a Bush just complete shill.
Oh, okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, Frank Lutz is a shill. This guy,
he's gained some weight too.
He smells like a freaking.
He does look.
He
like
smells like
a foot.
He smells like a brick of Parmesan cheese. I bet. I despise Frank Lutz, because here's why. Frank, if you're listening, okay, and you can get past your neck beard for a second, you're always wrong. You and Karl Rove should literally have gay sex and make a cross between a white fat Albert and Barry Manilow. You both are the two of the dumbest pollsters I have ever seen. You never get it right. You couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat. Both of you. And I have embarrassed the shit out of both of them, and they don't even know it, in 2020 and 2022. Their percentages were under like 30% on calling races. I'll take my percentage and my team of 1 over their entire Fox News and pollster desks of working with hundreds, because they never get it right. This guy is an anti-Trumper. He's always been an anti-Trumper. And this is what he had to say about Trump. Listen to this. This is interesting. I mean, this is a guy that literally walks in on his wife having sex with another man, and she looks over at him, and instead of him being mad and takes both of them out, joins in by catching.
Oh, Jesus, that's a really horrible,
It's
I don't
accurate.
want that in my head.
It's accurate. This guy's a cuck. He's a complete cuck. He is a cuck. He is the cleanup guy.
I don't even.
Her boyfriend leaves, and then he goes in for seconds.
Oh, God.
That's Frank Lutz.
Graphic.
It's true. Watch, listen to him.
I don't even think he's married.
This is why.
Exactly.
Because he was cucking for the boyfriend. But listen, just watch him, and I don't care if it's graphic. Tell me this isn't exactly the description. Try to describe him better than I just did.
Parmesan cuck.
Right.
That's what somebody said on
Try to
Grandma.
describe him. Try to describe him better than I just did. Watch, listen. Seriously, listen to him. Watch. Look at his eyes. It's resigned. Okay,
He looks
honey.
dead.
It's okay, honey. I'll catch.
He looks dead.
I'll
His
catch.
eyes, yeah.
It's not gross. It's true. Listen. Oh, shit.
Every show. You're so funny.
Every show.
Every show.
I don't mean to be so graphic, but yes, I do. Here it is. I don't like this guy. He's a douche plow. Because why? Because there's no credibility. You know what I would do? I'd go, you know what? I was wrong. I made a mistake in 2016. I made a mistake here. I made a mistake here. Finally, after what? 7 years? 6 years? This guy finally says I was wrong. Here it is.
If you had to bet $150,000 on who's going to win in November, who would you bet on?
Look at that. If you had to bet $150,000 on who was going to win in November, who would you bet on? Look at Frank. You know what he said? I'll catch. Let me go get the towel and some mineral water. I'll be right back.
I never dreamed that I would say this, but I would bet on Trump.
There's the money shot. I never thought you would cheat on me. What does he have that I don't? A penis. Besides that, a spine. Besides that, a physique. Besides
A
that,
brain.
I thought it was done. I thought it was over. You don't come back from an impeachment. You don't come back from January 6th. You don't come back from any of this. But he's come back. The guy's a survivor. And his opponent is having so much trouble that I would, at this point, give the
I would take it on the chin for my wife. Right in the left eye. Not my right eye. My left eye, please. Just please be gentle with me.
to Trump.
Dude, do you understand? Listen, I got to give him credit. All kidding, all graphic, disgusting kidding aside, I got to give Frank Lutz credit. That is the first time he has ever been right about anything in his life. This guy is defeated. Not only did he say, I have no idea what I'm talking about ever, but I'm going to put $100,000 on Trump to win. Now, here's the problem. Everyone should be freaked out by that because now he's never been right on anything. So now Trump's screwed. like Trump is screwed. When Frank Lutz says you're going to win, nobody understands how huge that is. That would be like Michelle Obama coming out and being like, you know, just to be honest with you, I have a penis.
Oh my God.
If she did that, the whole world would be like, oh, we knew already. No, I'm just kidding. But it would be like, it would just change the world, right? It would just, the whole world would end. This is as big as that. Frank Lutz admitting that he's a putz. This is huge. Huge. I don't like this guy. I don't like anybody who pretends that they're good at their job and they're not.
Weatherman.
Right. He's a weatherman. Oh, can't stand those people. I cannot stand meteorologists. All of them, there's 3 people in the world who deserve quick and imminent death. Okay? HOAs, because they're all the Third Reich when they fled Nazi Germany, all became HOA agents. Lawyers. And pollsters. Weathermen, meteorologists, people who predict the stock. Oh, you know, I'm sorry I lost all your retirement, but you know, hey man, it was just, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. We just need another $100,000. We'll get it back for you. Go ahead and go back to work for 10 years. Come on back. We'll get your money back for you. Frank Lutz has never gotten anything right. If he was a broken clock, he'd be wrong twice a day. He is just that bad. All right. So now that you got Lutz doing this, I'm going to show you this. And then Olivia's got a quick video and then we're getting out of here. We're going to go enjoy the weekend. All right. So here, now I've defended Trump and I've given you, I'm going to defend CNN.
Ooh.
And Thomas Massie, I'm going to say it right now. If anyone is watching who knows Thomas Massie, you do me a favor. The only thing worse than Karl Rove and Lutz is Thomas Massie being a sandwich in the middle. He being the sizzling bacon. You put the sizzling bacon in between the 2 loaves of white bread, you get a Lutz, Massie, and Karl Rove sandwich that nobody wants to take a bite of. That's the one sandwich nobody wants. Thomas Massie is not a Republican. And I have heard so many of you say he is. He is not. He is a 2012 psychotic, batshit crazy, religious zealot Tea Partier. Not the Tea Party that Ron Paul created. That was the real Tea Party. That was an actual libertarian movement that should have stayed. Once Ron Paul said, you guys are all crazy, I'm getting the fuck out of here, and the Koch brothers took it over, he is that guy. These are the pseudo-Republicans that told us Sharia law was coming to the United States. These are the anti-Muslim people who said Sharia law was going to come over and take over our country. Those crazy, Michelle Bachmans, the Paul Ryans, those type of people. Mm-hmm. Thomas Massie, everyone says the word RINO. RINO. You don't know what RINO means. You want to know what RINO is? Thomas Massie, 79% lifetime rating as a Republican voting with Republicans. He votes the middle more than any other Republican. He stays down the middle. This session, it's an election year. So why is he there? He's at a 96% with Republicans because he's a fucking shill. This guy votes against every single Republican and conservative initiative. He is not a Republican. He is just as bad as a Tulsi Gabbard. His views may not be as bad, but he is just as bad because he does not stay the line. Liz Cheney is more of a Republican than him. Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump 93% of the time. Donald Trump endorsed his ass and then withdrew and went after him. This guy has flip-flopped on Trump. I can't even tell, more than the International House of Pancakes. This is one of the guys that's wrong with the Republican Party. This guy right here is a shill. And I'll be honest with you, just being transparent. If this guy was on my show and he talked to my wife like this, I would walk up to him and I swear to God, I would punch his pudgy little face that looks like it has no bones in it and wrap that bottom neck around his head. If anyone talked to my wife this way, they'd be drinking through a straw. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a tough man. I'm not a violent man. But this guy is a douchebag. Absolute douchebag. When you make CNN look good, there's something wrong with you. I'm not mad tonight. I'm not hot. I'm not fired up. I'm not trying to destroy people. But between Frank Lutz the Putz and Thomas Massie Massengill, I'm a little bit upset. And I can't believe I'm defending CNN. This is ridiculous. Listen to this.
And take the heat, but I'll also talk about what's in that resolution.
Recognizes that denying Israel's right to exist is a form of anti-Semitism.
That's the name of the resolution. Congratulations.
You do not support that. I'm not reading the name of the resolution.
Congratulations, you're able to read the name of the resolution. I don't vote on the names.
Ooh, Congressman, I don't think you're trying to question my intelligence now, are you?
No, I'm just saying you don't have time to prepare for this like I did.
Do you mean the 2 pages that I read in 2 minutes this morning and highlighted the resolve that the House of Representatives?
Good for you. You took 2 minutes. There have been 19 resolutions. I know what's in all of them. I study them. And I say right on social media, if you'd done a little more research, you wouldn't have to ask me if I acknowledge Israel's right to exist. It's right there on my social media.
I can read I've read your social media. I also think, given what is stated in this resolution, it is worthy of re-asking.
I enjoy this dialogue. I hope I get to come back on and talk about what's in these bills again.
In these resolutions and in these statements made by Congress, and in this resolution where everyone but you voted in support of, I'm happy to have you on anytime to discuss, and will continue to do my research. And do not appreciate when someone even suggests or insinuates
I'm going to suggest that you didn't have time to do the research that I've done. You did some research.
Oh my God.
Congressman Massie, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Kate.
Sarah?
Oh, she wanted to say something else. When she paused. What a douchebag.
What a chauvinistic dick. I mean, and I'm not one of those people. I'm like, you're a woman. I don't care. You got to go in there. You got to throw. And you got to trade barbs. But come on, man. Liv, what are your thoughts on that? Seriously, I mean.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, on live TV, what was it? I'm going to try and make CNN look stupid. Is that what his whole point was? I mean, why? I mean, that's just plain rude.
Well, excuse me. I'm fine with him making fun of CNN.
Exactly.
That doesn't bother me. But I just thought that was completely disrespectful to treat her that way, because sure, there may have been multiple facets of that bill, but those 2 pages ultimately are what the bill is. I've looked up the bill, and that's the only thing that I would have printed out. It doesn't matter. You're the only voice of opposition on this bill. You are in the minority, and you are in such a minority that your judgment is the issue. Look at lifetime score. I told you 79%. Thomas Massie, 79% with Republicans. And if you look at the bills that this guy struck down, Respect for Marriage Act, Consolidated Appropriations Act, fine. Inflation Reduction Act, fine. Assault weapons ban, turn it down. That's fine. The CHIPS Act, that's fine. Bipartisan Safer Communities, shut it down. This guy has a lot this year. And if you go back throughout his career, you will see that, in my opinion at least, based upon his voting record, if you take a look for supporting Israel, supporting crime bills in regards to hate against Jews, appropriations when it comes to supporting predominantly Israel, but our interest across abroad with our military, with our bases. This guy votes against just about all conservative principles. You can look at abortion bills and actually holding Democrats and Republicans responsible in regards to their stock exchanges or things that they say on the floor that are known to be false, and holding them accountable for it. In my opinion, this guy should not have an R in front of his name, and I hope he's primaried. And I hope he gets his ass kicked. I think he's running against a guy named Dieters or some stuff in Kentucky. Liv, you want to look it up?
Yep. Maybe he's really, really bad at flirting, and he thought she was cute. And
she is cute. She is cute, but
that was his way of flirting with her.
Listen, that guy, he makes the Pillsbury Doughboy look yoked. I mean, he is just a fluffy, puffy, just douche plow. Like I said, anybody from what pisses me off isn't because he's a chauvinist. It's that he's a Southerner. You're from Kentucky. You know better. You know how to treat a lady. You don't treat a lady like that. You don't talk to a woman like that. And I don't care if it's CNN. She was doing nothing. She's just like, why would you vote against a defamation bill for Jews? Why would you do that? Well, because I know what it's all about. This isn't the don't say gay bill bullshit. It's fairly well laid out. And if there's something you don't like, then go ahead and challenge that in legislative process and make that heard and use the filibuster and use your voice and rally people around you to support. But you're so bad at what you do. You're the only person who voted against it. That should tell you something. Eric Dieters. That's right.
Eric Dieters and then Michael McGinnis. There's three of them.
Who's McGinnis? Is he a Republican?
He is, yes. It just says he's a Fort Thomas. That's all it says.
What does it say about Dieters?
Suspended attorney and former Republican gubernatorial candidate Eric Dieters filed.
So he ran
Friday.
for governor. He filed Friday.
He filed Friday to challenge Republican U.S. Representative Thomas Massie in the 4th.
Friday, January 12th, today?
When was this? 8 days ago. So last Friday.
Holy crap. I'm going to look this guy up.
So, Eric, and then Michael McGinnis. So it looks like there's three.
I don't care about McGinnis. I think Dieters is the guy that I heard about. Where's his page? I want to see what his... Do you have his campaign stuff there?
I just went to a news article.
Let's see if he has his campaign page up because... Oh, yeah, he does. Oh, no, that's governor. Yeah, there's no way he has it up in 8 days. That's an interesting push. Let's listen to his thing. You want to listen to it?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to call him and get him on.
Kentucky, special state. Born from Virginia as the 15th state, no place is more beautiful than the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Anyway.
Mountains in the east, to the water borders of the Ohio, Big Sandy, and Mississippi rivers, to the central Kentucky bluegrass, to the beautiful lakes from the west to the east, to the cave systems, to the rolling green hills, to the forests and the parks.
All right, dude. This isn't a tourist. Let's get to it, dude. Who the hell are you? Let's go. No wonder why you didn't win governor. God, you should have put me in charge of your campaign. I want to visit. I want to get a brochure. Can I call the Better Business Bureau at this point? Do you guys have like a travel lodge there that I can stay at? Do you have a Residence Inn? I don't care.
To the cities and country towns.
I'm not hating on your state. If I was hating on your state, I would say all of them are related or something.
Enjoys the most navigable waterways of any state in the nation, except Alaska. Kentucky produces 95% of the world's bourbon. Kentucky is the leader of the world thoroughbred industry. Kentucky is a leader in agriculture, mining, and...
Yeah, and it's not that rye shit. Ugh. Dude, who drinks rye? It's all bourbon, baby. Bourbon. That's whiskey. Rye? I'd rather Southern Comfort.
Whether you enjoy hunting and fishing or boating and hiking, Kentucky is where you want to be.
This is a tourist commercial.
Kentucky is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Alvin Barkley, Muhammad, the art, and the who fights for people.
Finally, dude. God,
he's unbridled spirit. Kentucky is also the birthplace of the cheeseburger, traffic lights, Post-it notes, Jif peanut butter, and the happy.
Dude.
With all of this going.
Dude, 1 minute and 45 seconds has been a tourist commercial.
No wonder he's going to lose.
I need to get a hold of this guy. I got to call him. Be like, bro, you got 30 seconds to like make an impact, and this ain't it. Like, I want to visit Kentucky, but I have noticed, I don't even know who he is. I've already tuned out.
I'll tell you. Kentucky needs less government and more freedom. We need less regulation.
We start out with that next time. You're running for fucking office there, Dieters.
Complete tax system overall. We need a governor who fights for people and is not a career politician. We need massive reform of the legal system for the people. We need to defend our...
I don't know about blue jeans and the suit jacket, buddy. I'm just letting you. Might as well go denim Dan. I mean, if you're gonna pull that off, you might as well just go all denim. You know what I mean? Just put it out there.
Values and God-given rights.
He's trying to be Raylan Givens.
Oh, he does look like Raylan. He needs the hat then.
Yeah,
You
because
gotta have the
that's
hat.
what Raylan Givens wore. He
You
wore
gotta-
the,
you
he
gotta
wore
have
the
the-
Wranglers
You got
and
to have
the
the,
boots.
the
and
tan
the,
Stetson, buddy. If you don't have the tan Stetson, seriously. I mean, you got to go.
He's no Raylan Givens.
He needs to go down the hollows. You need to go down the hollows and get yourself some good soul food. Get yourself some moonshine, and take care of it. Seriously.
We need more country hoedowns and less lockdowns.
That's good.
I promise you, I'll ask these questions.
That's a sharp looking jacket. That's how you wear a jacket.
Before making any decision as your governor. Does this decrease government and increase freedom? Is this best for the people of Kentucky, not political gangsters?
There you go. There you go. Keep the shirt untucked. That's a Kentucky man. I think I like him. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Can we solve this problem with policy and action and not money?
He wears boots. He wears that guy. Now he's growing on me.
I believe in what I call the three pillars of America: God, the Constitution and Bill of Rights, and capitalism.
That's four.
I think he was saying the Constitution and Bill of Rights are one thing.
They're not.
That's a combination.
They're not.
Yeah, I know that, but
They're not. And you forgot the Declaration of Independence. The three cornerstones of one of those pillars would be the Constitution. It doesn't matter. Okay. He just, listen, what's his first name? Is it Mike? Mike Dieters? Is that what it is?
Eric.
Eric. I knew it was one of those. Eric, John, Todd. Eric, give me a call. I will help you. I will move to Kentucky and help with your candidacy. I'm not serious. I am absolutely dead serious. You give me just give me a month, and we will crush Thomas Massie together.
Defend, support, and fight for all three. I believe in small business and family business. I believe in parents, not bureaucrats. I do believe in you. From its beginning in 1792 till now, Kentuckians just want to be left alone. I'll leave you alone. Kentucky deserves a new way of doing things. If you agree, vote for me. Together, we will decrease government and increase freedom. Together, we will succeed. And remember, every dog...
John says Bill of Rights is the first 10. Yes, but it's not the Constitution. It's a part of the Constitution. It's not the Constitution. The Constitution is not just the Bill of Rights. We need to be, in this day and age, when people don't even know how many states are in America, they don't even know who the founding fathers were. They don't even know what the stars represent or what the 13 stars or the 13 stripes represent or what the Betsy Ross is or how many different iterations of the American flag we've had. You need to be specific.
It's day. Kentucky will soon have a new day.
I like him. He's fine. But that was governor. So let's look at his governor race. Let's find out what he did. When did he run for governor? Let's see. Kentucky is in was it 2022?
Let me look.
I think Kentucky was up for gubernatorial in 2022. See if I'm right. Or was it 23?
2023.
Okay. I'm not even seeing him on here. Wait a second. Hold on.
He didn't run for governor.
Yeah, I don't know what people are talking about. Maybe he ran but didn't even make it into the final selection.
It was Daniel Cameron who was the Republican.
Yeah, he probably. Let me just look at Ballotpedia. Hold on. Biography. General election, 2024 Democrat primary. Yeah, he didn't even make it into the final. So in the primary, he got 5.8% of the vote. That ain't good. That ain't good. He didn't even get 10% of the top vote. That ain't good. Well, we'll see. Let's see what Thomas Massie got, though. This will be a tell. Was it a close primary when Massie ran? So Massie was... Okay. So that was 2022. He won 65% of the vote. That's pretty damn strong. He doubled up his the Democrat candidate, and even an independent run didn't pull votes from him. So Massie's fairly popular. I don't know why. That's why. See, this is why I can't stand our own party sometimes. Is because they sit there and yell and scream, RINO, 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 and then you got a RINO that votes with the Republicans 79% of the time, and then he wins by ungodly amount of numbers. We'll see. He's got to learn how to campaign. He's got to learn how to do shorter videos. He's got to hold Thomas Massie and expose him for his record. If I was this guy, I would take every one of Thomas Massie's votes, and then I would run those numbers into the town and county that I'd be running in. And for Senate, he's going to be running for 2 viable seats. And I would ensure that every district that I am in, I take the bills that he voted against and I educate the public on it and literally expose him for not being a Republican. Oh God, hold on. I got a long one. Hold on a second. Oh geez. Okay. David Van Arkel says, oh my. Okay. George Takei. Oh my. He's going to beam me up. All right, David. What is the obsession with Haley? There's a question there. Is this rhetorical? Did you want me to answer? No question mark. I'm going to assume it's rhetorical. Okay. She is a complete joke. Oh, crap. She is a complete joke and has no spine. Okay. So this is an emotional post. This has no fact. It's just emotional. Fine. All right, let's read the emotional. If Vivek can make her squirm over an easy topic and it happened more than once in a debate, then she also has no place in office. She is extremely weak, and Russia and China will run her over. I'm willing to bet if Trump feels he needs a woman as a VP, then he will pick Noem. Do you think her adultery is going to get in the way? Do you think that nobody knows who she is going to get in the way? Do you think that we're 12 months away, that we're months away from the Republican National Convention? Yeah? Okay. However, this is an extraordinary times, and he will need someone solid. I guarantee with Trump having 3 years to think about it, he already has someone in mind who is way more qualified than anyone running. Trump learned his first go around listening to the wrong people, and he was basically stabbed in the back by listening to the wrong people, but now he understands the operation and will be doing things differently. Was this before or after he had Nick Fuentes in Mar-a-Lago? And Kanye West? And Mayo Yiannopoulos? Is this before or after that? Is this before or after he pardoned? And maybe you didn't hear the tape. I don't know. I don't know if he's heard the tape. Maybe I should show the tape. I'm going to show the tape. Let me get the tape first, because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Oh God, I don't understand why it's an obsession with Haley. What is anyone? Why would anyone believe that I would not be simply going off of the numbers? I don't care. People think I like Haley. It's not about that. This isn't about like for me. This is about looking at the numbers. You want him elected, don't you? Go ahead, honey.
It's probably because he's a Trumper for life, and anyone who runs against Trump is the devil. Or he just hates women, either way.
Oh my God, that was jeez. I think that was a little harsh. My Lord. Let's listen to this. So this is Roger Stone. Now, I've had a chance to interview Roger Stone. Roger Stone's publicist, group of friends, whatever, reached out to me to see if I could be on the show, and I turned him down. Why?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Why? Because I have scruples.
I didn't know Nick Fuentes wanted you on the show.
Not Nick Fuentes, Roger Stone. Roger Stone.
Oh, that's right, Roger Stone. Sorry.
Roger Stone. Listen to this.
Swalwell and get this piece there and go find Swalwell.
This is going to be loud because it's in a bar. Listen to this. Ready? Here it is.
If he's there, go find Swalwell and get this over with. It's time to do it now. Then we'll see how brave the rest of them. Either follow either Swalwell or Nadler before the election. They need to get the message. Again, just not putting up with this again.
All right, here you go. Here's the.
If he's there, go find.
Let's go find Swalwell and get this over with.
And get this over with. It's time to do it.
It's time to do it.
Then we'll see how brave the rest of them.
Then we'll see how brave the rest of them are.
Either follow
either Swalwell or Nadler has to DIE before the election.
Or Nadler has to die before the election. They need to get the message.
They need to get the message.
Again, just not putting up with this.
I'm just not putting up with this shit anymore.
If he's there, go find Swalwell and get this over with. It's time to do it.
So you mean this guy that Trump pardoned? This is the guy that demonstrates Trump's wonderful choice of character? What about Rudy Giuliani?
What about Fauci?
What about Michael Cohen? What about the Kraken? What about Steve Bannon? No. I don't think Donald Trump's learned anything in regards to selecting the right people. And I will be completely transparent with you. The one person who didn't do anything to Trump in Mike Pence, he hates. Please explain to me in the Constitution of the United States where it says that Mike Pence could overturn those votes in any way, shape, or form. Show me the line. Show me the line in the Constitution where it says Mike Pence can overturn votes. And if there isn't any line, then Donald Trump completely flipped on Mike Pence for absolutely no reason. See, loyalty is Trump's supposed biggest care in the world, but it's not something that he reciprocates. He doesn't give it back. And for you to sit here and even remotely tell me that Donald Trump is a good choice of character, you're baffling me, because that is not his strength. In fact, it's probably his biggest weakness. And the interesting thing I hear constantly is Donald Trump, the wrong people. He surrounded himself with the wrong people. Well, who chose those people? Oh, Donald Trump. So he wasn't a good judge of character. Is that fair to say? So this isn't an obsession with Nikki Haley. I told you 3 years ago, Nikki Haley was going to be palatable to the women of the United States. And she is. They like her. She's also palatable with minorities. Like I told you.
It's nice to have an actual woman running for office that's intelligent, that is not vindictive, and she's easy on the eyes. I mean, I'd rather look at her than frickin' Hillary Clinton. But, I mean, Hillary Clinton was not, I mean, people looked at you and you're a woman. You got to vote for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman and you're a woman and you're a woman. You want a woman as president. I didn't want Hillary Clinton as president. But
it's not that I want Haley. I don't want Haley. I don't want DeSantis. What I wanted was for Trump to come out 18 months ago and do what he did last night. And right now, he would not only be ahead in every single poll, every single person would have dropped out against him, because not only would he be a bit unbeatable, it wouldn't be the national polls, it'd be the state polls. And the state polls are the only thing that matters in a primary, because nationally, she does better against Biden than Trump does nationally. You may not want to hear it, but that's the truth. And national polls mean shit. But in the states, she's right there in New Hampshire. And now that Christie dropped out, those are going to Haley. And Christie was doing fairly decent compared to the rest of the states. If she shows up with a strong second place in Iowa, Trump supporters better be worried. And then she has guaranteed herself the vice presidency. I just don't think you understand how this works. So where I'm talking about precedent and fact and numbers, you're talking on emotion. I can do with her or without her. Do I think she's as bad as everyone says? No. But you guys all loved DeSantis 9 months ago. Don't you remember? Now you hate him. Why? Why do you hate DeSantis? Nothing's changed. We were touting Florida. strong Republican state. Took 27 out of 29 districts. DeSantis turned red. He was the most powerful governor. We loved him. We loved how he went after Newsom. We loved how California shipping lanes all turned around and left the docks of LA and San Francisco and San Diego and wasted hundreds of thousands in fuel to go to Florida because he opened up his ports before everyone else. We loved that he opened up the schools. We loved that he went after Disney. We loved that he went ahead and shipped illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard. We love that he went after transgenders in schools and some of the smut and books that they put in. We love that he protected against the 1619 Project and the lies and the revisionist history in school. We loved it. Then you hate him. Why? Because Trump told you to. Guess who else Trump told you to hate? Nikki Haley. And you know what? If Vivek Ramaswamy was actually polling as a threat, he would be telling you to hate Vivek too. He would tell you to hate Kristi Noem if she got involved. What you don't understand about Donald Trump is he's a showman, and anyone who is a challenger, he is going to destroy, but you believe him and you eat from his hand. And instead of using your brain and going, this is just politics. He told you last night that he would make nice with every one of them, didn't he? He even said, I like Kristi a little bit more since he dropped out. Didn't you hear him?
Yes, I did.
He even told you last night that he's going to make nice. It's okay to run off emotion, but it doesn't get you anywhere. All it does is spin your wheels. You're stuck in the mud. Get out of it. Give yourself some leverage. You're stuck in the mud. I'm not doing it emotionally. I'm not loyal to Nikki Haley. I don't even know her. But what I do know is that she hasn't declared war on anybody. That she's sticking by Ukraine. Okay, I don't agree with her. So what? I agree with her on abortion. I agree with her on schools. I agree with her on the border. I agree with her on guns. I agree with her on freedom of speech. I agree with her on the other geopolitical situation, which is Taiwan. And if we lose Taiwan, we're going to lose the NASDAQ because of Apple. There's not much I don't agree with her on outside of Ukraine. Why don't you? So, you know what? I can't play the emotional platitudes game. I just can't do it because I'm not emotionally involved in Nikki Haley. And I'm not telling you that you have to vote for her. Because you don't vote for the vice president. I don't know if you know that or not. You vote for the president. And the RNC and the donors and Donald Trump will pick the VP. More donors and more RNC. Because the VP is the person who gives you the most states. Do you really think Kamala Harris, who couldn't even win 1% of her own home state in California, was the best choice for VP? Kamala Harris was picked because she's black. I don't know if you knew that. Or at least most people think she's black. Nikki Haley is going to be picked because she's a woman, she's a minority, she's an ambassador, and geopolitically, she can actually get the job done because she's good at it. There's nothing emotional about that. I didn't talk about her tits. I didn't talk about her Bambi black eyes. I didn't talk about how she might look like my wife when my wife is another 10, 15 years older. Nothing. I'm not enamored with her. I'm not in love with her. I don't even think particularly that she is the best choice, and certainly not for president. But as a VP, there's nobody on that stage who's more qualified. A UN ambassador and governor, who's more qualified? Husbands in the military overseas, multimillionaire in 8 years, and all was done from books and speaking events and getting on side of a board. And when that board became woke, she left. What do you want? What else are you looking for? You're looking for someone who didn't run against Trump. Well, you know what? Life's tough. This is politics. It's show business, not show friends. I don't know what to tell you. And Donald Trump knows that. That's why he's laid off of Haley and he hasn't leaned into her. And it's also why he's vetting for her for VP, whether you knew that or not. Did you get that announcement? Did you hear about that? Who do you want? Carrie Lake? Give me a break. Do you really think Vivek Ramaswamy and Donald Trump are going to be able to stay in the same room together? He will replace him outside of 6 months. Come on. Trump and Kennedy? RFK? Oh my God. Liv, I can't do it. I need a drink.
Okay.
RFK, anti-gun, pro-abortion. This is the guy you want. A populist. Oh my God. He's a liberal. Let me guess, Tulsi Gabbard's next. Would you like to see her voting record? Folks, take the emotion out of this. Make good decisions. Make the good decisions. What about Mike Flynn? Liv, let's do your topic.
How about let's just go for the night? Holy cow.
Mike Flynn? What? Why? What state does he bring? Who does he bring into the circle for Trump? Who? It's, folks, maybe I'm being belittling. I am. But you guys are smarter than this. Mike Flynn? Please tell me what demographic he brings in. White? Military-minded? Conservatives? Okay. I'm pretty sure we got that covered. Everyone feel good about that? Yeah, I think we're good there. Why would Mike Flynn be the choice? Someone Trump pardoned? Oh, that's going to go over like a lead balloon. And you know what women are going to say? Who? They have seen Nikki Haley on the TV for the last 9 months, and they like her. Why wouldn't you pick her? Just get in, just win. You can change her out in a year. You can stick her in the corner. You could send her to China on frickin' bamboo walking sticks retrievals. You can send her to a Shaka Zulu tribe to go ahead and bring beaded necklaces of potency back to you or some shit. Just put her in the pasture. Just get elected. Win. Haley wouldn't be a woman I'd get behind. Right. You don't have to get behind her. That's her husband's job. All you got to do is get Donald Trump to win. Come on, folks. You're smarter than this. You're smarter than this. All right, see if there's any other comments. Then we'll go. I never liked DeSantis. Why? Why didn't you like DeSantis? What was not to like? I never liked DeSantis. Of course you didn't. You know what? You folks, listen, do you want me to go back on your pages? Do you want me to go on your Facebook page? Because I'll do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You can't make me do it. I don't think anybody on a social media platform should have to have their name and address and all that on it. But that's not what she said. And that's not what she said. She didn't say that every single person on social media has to have their name and address. They said to register a verified account and to post that you would have to register your name and who you are and verify who you are. Do you understand that this page verifies who we are? I verify who I am. On Twitter, you have to verify who you are. On Rumble, you have to verify who you are. I don't necessarily agree with it, but guess what? That doesn't have to be the policy. She doesn't write policy. Donald Trump will. You don't have to agree with, okay, so okay, I just want to make sure, Ted, I'm getting this. If you disagree with one thing about your candidate, they're disqualified. Is that fair? Is that fair, Ted? Cool. Okay, so Donald Trump's disqualified because you don't agree with vaccines, right? Did you agree with the lockdowns? Do you agree with Dr. Fauci? All 3 decisions made by Trump. You okay with that? Well, wait a second. Well, Trump, he listened to the wrong people. Now you're making excuses. So maybe Nikki Haley listened to the wrong person. Do you understand this is what the primary's for? It's to float things up for the constituents to listen to. And you get this out now so you don't do it in the general election when it's national. You do it now. You float ideas to see what the reaction will be. I think Nikki Haley says things, DeSantis says things, even Trump says things that we all go, wait, what? And there's nothing wrong with it. But if we are looking for the perfect person who we never disagree with, then you're not only are you not going to be able to pick a president, but you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me.
They must live alone under a rock.
Who?
Didn't you just say that if you can't like someone just because you don't disagree? Did I just totally misunderstand that?
Oh, no, I know, but I don't want to insult. You have a tendency to do that. Can I give you some feedback? You have a tendency to attack our viewers for no reason.
I wasn't attacking.
You just said they're going to live alone for the rest of their life. That's pretty rude. You just said to another guy something. So I think you need to lay off our viewers. They're not our enemy. I mean, I just try to tell them, you're wrong. I don't say like, you're wrong and you're going to live a life in perpetuity of loneliness. I mean, it's like, I don't hate people for making comments that aren't founded. Mike Flynn gives Trump nothing. It gives him nothing. But that doesn't mean that you're a dumb person because you think that. It just means you're wrong. And he may say it. And you might come back, Matt, see, he picked Mike Flynn. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't make it a good idea. Donald Trump is going to do whatever he wants to do. But that doesn't mean it's a good idea. That's my point. Sarah Sanders. Now, that's a great idea. But the problem with Sarah Sanders is that will she make that commitment with her family, with the hot water she got into in Arkansas, with the way they've been hitting her?
What happened in
And
Arkansas?
she bought a podium for $3,000 and people started shitting the bed and just freaking out. It doesn't matter. She's in the news. But here's the thing. Can I just be honest with you? I think Americans are too shallow to vote for Sarah Huckabee. I think they are. I think people expect people to look a certain way, that everybody's got to look like Kayleigh McEnany or look like Nikki Haley or Noem or Carrie Lake. Look what they get away with because of the way they look. I think honestly that it was easier to vote for a black man than it was a woman who wasn't a prototypical, beautiful, even though I'm not saying Sarah Huckabee isn't pretty and she isn't a lovely human being, but she does not look like a prototypical woman. And in fact, most people who insult her base it upon her looks, which is bullshit. But let's face it, this is politics. It's not personal. Will she sell in the room? Will she sell? Is she distinct enough from Trump to sell with suburban women? And watch this. Olivia, who's Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
That was his old press secretary.
Your thoughts about her?
I thought she was fantastic in the press room. I love how she handled the press. I think she's very tough, and I like her.
Great. Should she be vice president?
I don't think she wants to be vice president.
So not only do you have to go ahead and sell on the fact that people are going to be like, who is she? Well, some people will know. Does she want it? Has she expressed any interest?
I think maybe in the future,
Yeah,
but considering she just
great.
got elected governor, she probably wants to do that a little more and get a little more experience under her belt before she goes any further. I'm sure she'll talk to her father about running for president, but...
Well, here's the thing. David's come back.
Okay.
No, I don't hate women. I didn't say it. My wife did. I never said you hate women. Did I say that?
I think he's probably aiming that one at me.
I have much respect for them. However, well, you're about to say why you don't. This is what's known as a but sandwich, right? I'm sorry, but. I'm sorry is a complete sentence. I don't hate women, and I have much respect for them. It's a complete sentence. But you added however, so let's hear why you don't. Nikki will bend the knee to the establishment, and you know it. No, I don't know that. Please tell me how you know that. And please tell me why that's important for a vice president. Does a vice president vote on legislation? Do you believe she's going to go against Donald Trump as the president of the United States for that +1 vote in the Senate? Do you really believe that she'll go against? Why? Give me a reason why you think she would go against Donald Trump. She never has before. When she left office is when she challenged Donald Trump, not in. She did everything he said. She was one of the best ambassadors Donald Trump or any president has ever had. Explain to me why. As governor, did she sell out? How did she sell out? Are you upset because she got rid of the stars and bars and took it off government steps? I'm not upset by that at all. What is it that bothered you? What do you mean she'll sell out? Why? Because she took meetings with the Koch brothers and BlackRock? Did you know Donald Trump took meetings with the Koch brothers and BlackRock and they wouldn't give him money? Did you know Ron DeSantis did too? Did you know the Bush met with the Koch brothers and BlackRock? I mean, he met with Wall Street too. Donald Trump met with Wall Street. He met with them in 2020. He met with them in 2016. What do you mean he'll sell out? Did Donald Trump sell out? Is Donald Trump the only impervious person to sell out? She's independently wealthy. Why would she sell out? Give me an example of her selling out before. You can't. This is emotional. There's no fact here. I want fact. Give me something she did that will lead me to believe this. That right there will put a target on his back. Whose back? There's already a target on his back. Do you think Donald Trump has enough room on his back to be any more targeted than he already is? He's already a target. What are you talking about? There is no emotion involved here, merely looking at the facts. What facts? You haven't stated one fact. Everything you've said is supposition and emotional diatribe. There is not one fact. You've said nothing factual. There's no numbers. There's no dates. There's no legislation. There's nothing. There's no statements. Give me a quote. Tell me something, David. If Trump was to pick Nikki, I wouldn't vote for them as a ticket. Then you have, I don't know what to tell you. Have a good night. No, you have it. You move on. And by the way, you need, in order to move on, you have to have the wheels turning. Your wheels aren't turning. You're still in the mud. You can't move on because nothing you said validates anything that you just said. I want you to make a point. I want you to shut me up, but you can't. So what are you doing? You're leaving. You come in here and you drop a bomb and go away, and you've proved nothing. And that's fine. It doesn't bother me. It happens all the time. But don't sit here and tell me I'm dropping the mic. You didn't even pick it up. You have nothing to support what you said except emotion. And unfortunately, nobody cares about your feelings. I don't. I care about facts. Give me the facts. How will she sell out? How has she sold out? Your comment, I think what you're saying is anybody who takes money from big donors is going to sell out. Well, Donald Trump took money from big donors. In fact, Donald Trump had all the big donors before DeSantis and before Haley, and his small campaign contributions were actually not there as much as they used to be. Just recently has Donald Trump shifted to small donation campaigns because that's what he's hitting in his emails. But he was getting the big dollar contributions. Then Haley and DeSantis started polling well. And those never Trumpers and those almost Trumpers decided to move on. And those were the big dollars. Those billionaires decided to put their money elsewhere because they don't think Trump can win. So they're hoping that they go ahead and force DeSantis or force Haley into the ring against Trump, and he picks them as a VP because that's a stabilized ticket. You guys want who's popular. You want who you like. I want who can win. And you guys think that there's enough Trump supporters to put him in office, and there's not. Those are the cold hard.
A lot of Trump supporters have moved on.
Yeah, that's the cold hard facts. Those are facts. And if you want the numbers, I'll give them to you. I'll break them up for you right now. Right now, Trump's base outside of the Republican Party is 37% are for Trump. Absolutely with no equivocation. That is outside the normal Republican constituents. 37% also are split and divided and willing to vote for another candidate. And the other 25% are never Trumpers. That represents and constitutes over 7 million votes. That is the electorate that you need to capture. And if you don't bring in something different other than Michael Flynn or Carrie Lake or another mini Trump like Vivek, you're not going to get those votes. They hate Biden. They hate Trump more. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. So you have to give them something that they love. And they would love a neoconservative. But that doesn't mean Trump has to listen to her. And it doesn't mean Trump has to give her power. Trump decides what the vice president does. And the only thing they do is go in the Senate and do a +1 vote. And those are few and far between. We need to win the House. We need to win the Senate, win the presidency, and actually put this country back on the rails. And the only way you do that is the next 2 judge seats that are going to open up in the next 4 years have to be Republican. You must take a 7-9 majority in the Supreme Court because Democrats are going to do whatever they can to expand the seats. You must recodify every single thing in the Constitution, and you pass it with legislation, and it's absolutely constitutional, and you put it lockstep. You take it out of the federal government's hands, and you make the states codify it. That's how you fix this shit. So Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C. do not become states, so they don't go ahead and pack the courts, so they don't destroy the filibuster. All of these things need to be handled. The only way you do that is a 7-9 majority in the courts. You only get that with a president of the United States who is a Republican like Trump. Stop playing show friends, play show business. But maybe you moved on. I don't know. You probably should move on. This isn't the show for you. Ted says, I don't think anybody on social media platforms should have to have. Oh, he said that already. What else are we missing? Liv?
Not much.
Benny Johnson thinks he's going to pick Tucker Carlson. I'm not laughing at that because he very well could pick Tucker Carlson. I just was wondering why Tucker Carlson would want to take 4 years of his life and lose millions of dollars. Has anything ever made you feel that Tucker Carlson is not about the money? This is a guy who's worked for MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, was fired from all of them, found a new job and got a lucrative contract with Twitter by literally shifting his opinion of Donald Trump and getting in Trump's corner and drinking the Trump Kool-Aid and now being a Trumper. Please tell me what Tucker Carlson hasn't done for money. Does that mean he's unethical? No. Does it mean that he's a bad guy? No. But those are his sole motivations because he has demonstrated that time and time again. What makes you think he would do 4 years of giving up and going into obscurity? Because that's for $250,000 on the lecture circuit. He already makes that.
Journalists and stuff. He's not going to want to run.
I don't know. I just don't know if Tucker Carlson is the best choice for vice president of the United States. Once again, do you think women are going to flock to Tucker Carlson? I don't know, folks. I don't know. I think this conversation is a good one, and I appreciate it. But Little more fact and a little less emotion. Amy says, Mike, several of them. Oh, I thought that was a good one. That sounds kind of petty, Matt. I don't know what that means. What's petty? Which one? What's petty? I like Sarah. Wait a second. Why are we talking about Sarah Huckabee's looks? Sure, it's petty, but it's the truth. Do you guys think that people don't vote on looks? Do you think people don't vote on the way somebody dresses? Do you think Nixon wasn't a better candidate than John F. Kennedy? Why did Kennedy lose? Or why did Kennedy win and Nixon lost? Nixon wore a brown suit on a black and white TV. He also was sick, and he wouldn't wear makeup. And by doing that, Kennedy looked magnanimous and strong, and Nixon looked weak and sick. And he didn't show up well. He showed up splotchy on the black and white TV.
Fortunately, looks are everything.
Of course it's petty. Of course it's petty for Sarah Palin. Is she stupid? No. Is George Bush stupid? Was Dan Quayle stupid? No. None of those people are stupid. Barack Obama was one of the best orators in the world, but people went ahead and said they couldn't vote for him because he was black. A lot of people didn't. And most of America did vote for him. But a lot of people said they would never vote for a black man. A lot of people said they'll never vote for a woman. Yes, it's petty. But that's the whole ever-loving point, is you have to predict what people will do. You have to look at the polling. It comes down to this. Whether you like it or not, Nikki Haley is the most popular female candidate in U.S. history running for office. Whether you like that or not, it doesn't matter. It's the truth. And if you want to win, you put her on the ticket, because those people will feel safe at night having her as VP, because if Trump doesn't work out, they get Nikki Haley. Whether you like that or not means nothing to me, because that's emotion. I want Trump to win. This is how Trump wins. And this isn't guaranteed he wins with just Nikki Haley, but it gives him a really good shot based on the numbers right now. Now, I'm telling you, once again, if she goes into Iowa and she places second, beats Ron DeSantis drops out and she wins Maine or gets extremely close in Maine, she's punching the VP ticket, whether you like that or not. You just better get used to it and stop work. Because you know what? The funny thing is you guys are all gonna be like, oh, she's not loyal. But you know what Trump's gonna do? I'm picking Nikki Haley, and I always knew she was the one. And that's why I never went after her. I always knew it was Nikki. I knew it was Nikki the moment I gave her UN ambassador. I'm the one that endorsed her for her book and gave her signed her copy of her book. I knew it was her. And you're all going to be like, Nikki Haley, man. Yeah, Nikki Haley. Watch. Come on. Give me a break, folks. If he came out right.
All the people that don't like Nikki Haley, if Donald Trump picks her, it's like that. Nikki Haley is...
like that.
The second coming of Christ.
He could tell you shit is souffle and y'all take a bite. Why not Ben Carson? Well, you just told me Flynn. And you just told me, I think you did. And you told me you didn't like DeSantis. I never said anything about Ben Carson. I think Ben Carson's a great choice. Do I think he has the popularity of Nikki Haley? No. Do I think it brings you the woman vote? No. He lost in 2020 because of the women. That's it. You get the women back, he's doing great with blacks. He's doing great with Latinos. Moderates are actually turning around to him. All you got to do is go get the women. That's all you got to do. That's it. 2.2 million votes. That's all you need. Go get the women. You win. I don't know why this is so hard. Respect, Barbara. Respect. Mad respect. Sarah Huckabee gives Mike Pence vibe.
John, I know it's because of the whole Christian thing. I can understand that because
okay.
Mike Pence was very religious.
John's hard for me to read sometimes.
And so is
that makes sense.
Sarah Huckabee. She's definitely very religious, and her father's very religious. So I can understand that comment.
Yeah. Well, now I understand it. It's a good comment because she does have that religious, but she's not a zealot like Pence. Sarah Huckabee does have that religious element. She's not a zealot though. Let me guess. He watched Timcast and Vivek today. Who?
When you were talking about that was made.
What?
It was the comment was made a while ago, and you were talking about something, and I don't. I can't remember, but it was made a while ago.
I didn't watch Vivek and Timcast.
No, he wasn't talking. I don't think. I don't know if they were talking about.
I don't. Just let you know, I don't watch Timcast. I don't watch Timcast. His stuff comes up, and I don't even watch him. I might maybe 1 minute short.
I think they were talking about a comment made or something else. I don't know. I don't think it was aimed at you.
JD says vocabulary like diatribe is way above my pay grade. Well, it's your path raid. Not your pay grade, path raid. Anyway. So who would they vote for? My grandmother called that throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Who would they vote for? I've already mentioned who they'll vote for. I don't know what else to say. It doesn't matter who they'll vote for. They'll vote for anybody. But if you want to go ahead and take votes away from Joe Biden and you want the middle, listen, this is the simplest thing I can say, and I don't know how else I can say it. We're going to get off right at 10, which will be early for us. 7% decides the election. That's it. End of story. 7%. And if JFK comes in and he impacts this race like he probably will, he's going to take a little bit from Trump, but probably more from Biden, surprisingly enough, because people hate Biden right now. They're sick of his ass. And he's just as unpopular as Hillary Clinton was. And honestly, Trump looks better than Biden right now. As long as you take 7%, that undecided vote, that vote that could go either way for Trump or against him, or for Biden or against him, that's how you win the election. And that group consistently is made up of 3 demographics: suburban women, minorities, and non-registered Republican Democrats. Those 3 demographics are going to decide the election. And if you want women and you want minorities, you got it with Nikki Haley. And undecideds, you're going to get a lot of them. You win those 3 demographics, this race is over. He's lost on blacks. He's lost votes, Biden. He's lost votes on Latinos. He's lost votes with women. He has lost on every single demographic, except for all college-educated white men and women. You go out there and you get the Christians, you get the gun belt, you get the Rust Belt, you get the automotive workers, you steal some from the unions, you have Nikki Haley out there and puts her hand up with Donald Trump, you're going to win some votes. You're going to get my wife's vote. You're going to get my vote. And anyone who says they're not going to vote for Trump because he picks Nikki Haley,
it's just petty.
It's so it's by far the dumbest thing I've heard, at least in the last 24 hours. What a stupid thing to say that you're going to decide. No election in the history of elections has ever been decided by the vice president. Do you understand that? Nobody votes for the VP. But people will actually vote against the VP. Do you understand that? Because if you look at every single election, look at every single election poll, people will say, I didn't vote for the VP, but nobody says I voted because of the VP. It is a powerless, meaningless position. And the only reason why the president has a vice president isn't because the hierarchy of power and the transfer of power if something happens. It was actually a consolation prize for the second runner-up from the opposing party. The Republican would win and the Democrat would be the VP. This changed. I don't know.
It's like the gold and the silver medal.
Yeah, 1820. It was a long time. No, 1826, 1832. Liv can look it up. But that was the last vice president that was from the opposing party. That's why the VP status happened. Then they said, screw this. So they changed it. And that's the only reason there's a VP. In the hierarchy, the Speaker of the House is absolutely second in command. But because of this tradition of the second runner-up becoming vice president, it stays today. There shouldn't even be a VP. Because honestly, the vice president's not going to make any decisions. It's going to be Secretary of Defense. It is going to be Secretary of State. It is going to be the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It is going to be the speakers. And it's going to be the Senate minority and majority leadership who are going to go in and grab the VP by the ear and say, sit down, shut the fuck up. We've got this now. And there's going to be 16 of us leading the country until we elect a new president. Whether
1804.
Are you sure?
June 15th, 1804 is when...
I thought it was 1826, but I'm just getting old.
The amendment to the Constitution was ratified.
1804. That's earlier than I thought. So not that far. So they learned very quickly. But either way, it's an old adage, and I got it right in the 18-somethings, but 20 years off. I'm 16 years off. I'm getting old. For that matter, Tucker. That sounds like petty. Okay, we already read that. I'm just going to finish the comments. Tim Cass sucks. I don't think it sucks. I just don't like a lot of Tim's takes. But I like some of them. I think he's a very talented guy. Trump and Rogan. Yeah, okay. You want to lose the woman vote, really? It's going to be Trump Rogan 2024. Fist him by the pussy.
Oh my God.
I think Trump will pick a female for a VP. Yeah, me too. He needs to. I've been saying it for 3 years. I like Sanders, but I can see Matt's point with her looking country. That's the problem. They'll Sarah Palin her. The left will demean her. And I don't want to see her go through that. Trump don't need Nikki. Trump don't talk Thai. Trump don't talk Thai real well. You'll see. Yeah. John, you know, I've told you this before. You got to call in because you always say things, but you don't back them up. I really don't think Trump likes Haley. Based on what? Based on what? Why? Look at every single candidate. The only other person he has not said anything negative about is Vivek. He said a couple lines negative about Haley. He's left her alone. That should tell you something. HRC was pretty popular until she wasn't. Did you even see her polling numbers? No, she wasn't. She had like a 31% approval rating in 2016. No, she didn't. She was extremely unpopular. That's not true at all. Republicans need a platform. Yeah, they do. Yeah, if Haley does a good job as VP, could she win in 2028? Well, that's the whole thing. As long as she does a good job in 2028, the question is, it's not about her. It's, will Trump do a good job in 2028? If Trump does a good job up until 2028, I believe that Nikki Haley could be the first female vice president to become president ever. But here's what it comes down to. We needed to be the first on the moon, and whether you believe that or not, the Republican Party needs to have the first woman. And the reason why is because our party is extremely small. If you just saw that from Thomas Massie, that's why. We won't embrace the LGBTQ community. We don't embrace women. We don't embrace minorities. Listen, white people are getting smaller, folks. We need to open up the umbrella. And I love the fact that more black celebrities are embracing conservative politics. Great. Now we need a bunch of women. We need to get the women back. Trump, have you noticed something? Did you even notice? Did you even look on the town hall? He's always been good with women, but he was good with even the woman who wasn't going to vote for him. He was soft and flirtatious in not a creepy way. He was kind, even to the woman who said she was voting for DeSantis. Donald Trump is shifting gears. He's getting into election mode, and he's trying to win the women back. Listen, I can't explain my brain. You're just going to have to trust me. I've already told you 100,000 times. You got to listen to me. Tim Scott for VP, not a chance. Benny Johnson interviewed Vivek, I'm sure. You got 2 hand to that curry. Okay. We're almost done. If people won't vote for Trump because of the VP pick, then they're not Republicans. They're WWE wrestling fans. And I don't want those people to vote. I think they shouldn't vote. I think that's great. Don't vote. If you won't vote for Trump by the VP pick, then you should not vote. I agree. You should stay home forever. In fact, you should never leave your house again. You should be a shut-in. You should never speak to anyone again. The fact that you would hand Joe Biden the presidency because you're being a fucking baby, no. Sorry, you're an idiot.
It's like the people out there who say, I don't like Trump's tweets and his comments, and like we said, so therefore I'm not going to vote for him because of that reason.
Yes.
Well, you're Republican, right? You want Trump to win. Well, if you don't cast your vote for him, no matter what, he's, the whole point is to get as many votes as you can.
Amanda says, I disagree that he's losing black votes. I didn't say he was losing black votes. I also think many women would rather him pick a man over Nikki. Yeah, but that's not what the polls say. Because the polls are, Nikki's winning nationally. Oh, you're not going to be on that side. All right, we got everybody back. Holy crap, that's great. They fixed it. What a great thing. All right, listen, this is too much. It's too much. I'm not going to sit here and argue with everybody. All I'm going to do is say, let's just sit back and watch. Let's just sit back and watch, right? Let's just watch. Let's see what happens. Okay, let me just put this real quick and then we're done. You got Nikki Haley right now, who nationally is polling better than Trump against Biden, which it's an interesting number. She's doing very well in New Hampshire. She's doing very well in Iowa. She's showing good results. All you're talking about doing is taking 90% of her votes and just putting them in Trump's column the moment she goes, yep. But if Trump picks no M or a no name, even Ben Carson or somebody, like Carrie Lake, who is a no name nationally, they have to start over. And you got, everyone knows Joe Biden and Kamala. So what do? Do you take the 30 million votes that Nikki Haley represents and just stick them under Trump's banner, at least 90% of them? Or do you start over? Okay, well, presidential history will tell you, and precedent will tell you, that you take the votes, because that's what every president has done. And Mike Pence, the reason why Donald Trump chose Mike Pence, really simply, is because he wasn't an incumbent. Donald Trump's ran before. They know what they're going to get with Donald Trump. He's not an unknown. So you can't go pick an unknown VP. You've got to pick with what the people who are going to vote for you are comfortable with. And they're not comfortable with Vivek. They're not comfortable with Ben Carson. They're not comfortable with Noem. If Donald Trump wants to win, you pick somebody who's comfortable. And right now, Nikki Haley is the most popular candidate in the United States outside of Donald Trump. And that's just the truth. And whether you like that or not doesn't matter. Because the truth is the truth is all that's important. I'm seeing Trump is way ahead on the polls. No, you don't. You're seeing that Trump is ahead on the national polls. And national polls don't mean dick until September. We're not having a national race right now. The general election will tighten and close. And just like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was up 21 points, it will close. It always closes. National polls are always like this. It's not what's happening. Look at the states. Look where he's at with New Hampshire. What's it, like 39-31? It's like 8 to 7 points for Nikki Haley, and that's not even with Chris Christie out yet. Bullshit, it's not close. You're wrong, John. You're wrong. Yeah, computer crashed. All right, we're going to go. I thought you said Haley was leading on national polls. That's not what I said.
Okay, let me see if I can.
That's not what I said. Listen.
Didn't you say that the poll
And a
was
head-to-head match versus
head-to-head versus Biden? Haley is leading.
Haley has better numbers against Joe Biden nationally than Donald Trump has against Biden. That is what I said. And if you want to look on a national poll, which is Republican voters, then Haley is behind Trump. I've always said that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is outside of Donald Trump, she is now the most popular Republican candidate who is a female. And nationally, she has better numbers head-to-head with Biden. But Trump is most assuredly leading against every Republican candidate. That is the argument. But those are Republican voters. Of course he has the base. He has 87% of the Republican base. That's not what we're talking about. And the ones who are going to win the election aren't the Republican base. We saw how that turned out against Biden. You want to do that shit again? You want to lose by 7 million votes on the popular vote? Listen to what I say. Don't put words in my mouth. Okay? It's okay, John. Don't be upset. I'm not mad at you. I love that you ask questions, and you're one of my favorite people who I have no idea who they are. You're always on YouTube. I don't know what your picture looks like or anything about you, and I'd love to. I'd love for you to come on and talk to me. But there are times you don't listen, That's the feedback I'll give you. And there's probably times that I don't hear you. So guess what? We're both at fault. Great show. I love you guys. I care about you. Appreciate it. Donald says, so with WWE floor mat, Trump has been on the ropes once and now he wants to take them down to the canvas. So this tag team partner got to be Nikki Haley. Haley is a rhino. You don't even know what a rhino means. Sharon, you're just like everybody else. What does a rhino mean to you? Republican in name only? Please tell me what pieces of legislation she does not agree with that's a Republican platform. Does she believe in big government? Is she pro-abortion? Does she believe in social programs? Does she want to reform Social Security? Does she believe in nationalization? Or does she believe in populism? Does she believe in expanding the size of the government currently? Does she believe in the border? Does she believe in a wall? Does she believe in illegal immigrants should all be accepted? Does she believe in DACA recipients should be accepted? Does she believe we should deport people back to their original state? What do you think her vision is on war on terrorism? What is her feelings against the UN? Tell me any of those. Just tell me one. Tell me one. Tell me one. Okay, then you don't know if she's a rhino because you don't know what a rhino is. Rhino to you, and that's fine, and this is with all due respect, means anyone who you don't like.
Or anyone who disagrees with Trump.
That's it. That's your definition of rhino. Let me ask you a question. Liz Cheney, is she a rhino? Republican in name only. Answer my question. Is she? God, we got a bunch of people on still. Is she a rhino? Liz Cheney. That's the one that put the January 6th investigatory committee together. Her and Kinzinger. Is she a rhino? Is she a rhino? She a rhino. Rhino. Is that what rhinos sound like? Maybe when they're mating. Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump 93% of the time. Is she a rhino? Oops. Nope. Thomas Massie, Kentucky, Republican. Is he a rhino? Just proved that tonight. 79%. He's voted with Republicans. That's a rhino. But guess what? Nobody calls him a rhino. Why? I wonder. Liz Cheney's not a rhino. Liz Cheney hates Trump. She actually is more Republican than most Republicans, which is terrifying because I despise the lady. Yeah, that's right, Riley. You're right, Riley. She's not a rhino. Thomas Massie's a rhino. And Thomas Massie is considered to be one of the most Republican Republicans there are, which is bullshit. You know what? People think Tulsi Gabbard's a Republican. She's not. She believes in late-term abortion. She believes in gun confiscation. She believes in downsizing our military. She believes in legal immigration and DACA recipients to become naturalized citizens. She believes in war in Ukraine. She believes in supporting unfettered access and doesn't believe in nationalism. She believes in populism. She supports the UN. What the hell are you guys thinking? You guys, what the hell? Tulsi freaking Gabbard? Only thing I can do is give you the truth, and you have to decide whether you believe it or not. But I stand by my record. I stand by my record. I stand by my record tonight that I predicted that Mike Lindell was full of shit. And he was. And I got it before everybody. Every major newspaper. Mike Lindell's been canceled. My Pillow's been canceled by Fox. I said, wait a second. Hold everything. Let me give you my expert opinion. And it was an expert opinion. And I crushed it. And I got it an hour before even the best newspaper in the world got it. And I've been telling you 3 years that that Nikki Haley was going to be on the ticket. I told you Ron DeSantis was going to be on the ticket. And everyone said, no way. Nope. Nobody's going to go against Trump. You're wrong. Yeah, I know. I also told you about the war in Ukraine, that Ukraine would suspend indefinitely as long as we proxied the war. I told you that too. I also told you that Kari Lake was going to lose. I told you that Majewski in Ohio was going to lose. I told you that Dr. Oz was going to lose. I told you Herschel Walker was going to lose. I told you that Kemp from Georgia was going to win when you told me that he went against Trump and he was going to lose. I called Nevada. I called Arizona. I called New Mexico. I called Colorado. I called all 50 fucking states. I lost one race, and the only reason I lost one race is because I said he might win. And I took that as a loss. I can tell you how many times on one finger, how many times I've been wrong on this show. One. And that's over 1,000 live shows and recorded shows. Thousands of hours of video. And I can tell you on one finger when I've been wrong. My viewers can call me out now if you would like for a free t-shirt. Go ahead. And the one time was Snake Island with Ukraine, and I reported it, and I didn't wait 24 hours like I should, and those guys didn't die, and they came back alive in 72 hours. But everyone else was wrong too, and I'm the only one that retracted it that I saw. Go ahead and give me my other wrongs. I'll wait. Viewers, free t-shirt. Point out my wrongs. Hit me. Hit me. Give it. Remember that guy who, when he was smacked with that iced tea can? He's like, hit me. And then it had the Dave Matthews.
I laughed so hard when I saw that video. I almost peed my pants.
I'll pee my pants. Dave Matthews, lemonade, gas station, smack. I hope I got it. Oh, come on. Let's find this. So good. So good. Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it. I'm still waiting for a free t-shirt when I was wrong. Tell me when I'm wrong. You guys watch my show? Oh my gosh. They're having problems on Facebook playing videos. Really? Hold on. I got to turn it down so I don't hit copyright infringement. That was one of my first videos I ever did, Liv.
Mm-hmm.
That was my 5 for fighting.
Yep.
That was like my first couple weeks in the business. I want a free t-shirt.
It was right after New Year because it was like New Year's Eve that happened.
Hold on, let's find out. Somebody said anything. Matt. Olivia's eyes are getting droopy. I don't give a shit. She's on the show. You pony up. You bring the game, woman. You step up.
My eyes are getting droopy? My eyes are blurry right now. Their allergies are itching me, but other than that, I'm fine.
Miseducation, is that the same as indoctrinated? I don't. What? Yogurt is tangy. There.
Yogurt is tangy?
Just randomly saying shit. I don't know. Could Trump win with Andrew Tate? Kyrie. Dude, put down the pipe. Could Trump? You want to get women, right? You want to get women. You want to get women to vote. No, dude. Andrew Tate? What demographic is he going to bring in? White, male, military-aged, conservatives. Trump's already got that on lock. You guys understand? Be the way it's coming into me. Donald Trump needs to expand the base. He needs to find 7% of the vote. That's not Andrew Tate. Seriously? Why don't you ask? Maybe if he ran with Fabio, I could not believe it's nobody. I cannot believe it's not Donald Trump. I cannot believe it. I look into your eyes and I want to sing. Maybe do Julio Iglesias. Calzone, meno pichioco mericon, yo quiero Taco Bello. No! Woman! Minority! Expand the Republican Party. Stop being a bunch of white guys. Go get some of those youth. We need some of the young people that aren't fucking crazy, who are conservative. The two Utes. Oh, shit. Sapeli. We Hawettewe.
I can't see the
Is that correct? No, that's Native American. Sapili. No, it's Sapele. Sapele. Wettewe. Wa Hewettewe. Tell me if I'm right.
Put it up on the screen so I can see it. Because I can't see the comment. Facebook's being
Sapeli. We Wettewe. Wehewettewe. Tell me if I'm right. Am I close? Tell me if I'm wrong. She says, you've only been wrong once. Or he said, I don't know. I can't tell. Hold on. Let me look. God, I don't want to get it wrong. Native American. Absolutely guaranteed Native American. I'm almost 120% Native American. I can't tell you what tribe, though. It's not Cherokee. No. God, I know that name. Wahewettewe. God, I think I'm right. Tell me I'm right. If I'm right, you got to give me your t-shirt. Not the one you're wearing. Liz Cheney is a big RINO, and she's always bad-mouthing Trump. That's not what her voting record says. Republican voting record. That's what you care about. Yes, she talks about Trump. That's the only thing that makes her not a Republican in your eyes. But her voting record, 93%, she voted along with Trump.
I don't remember when Trump started the Republican Party. I don't remember when he became the Republican Party.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That the whole point is like Trump is the Republican Party. He didn't start the Republican Party. What I mean, he wasn't even a Republican until he decided to run. I mean, it just cracks me up.
I wouldn't vote for Liz. I despise Liz Cheney. I'm just letting you know she's not a RINO. Liz is a RINO as you can get. No, it's not, because Republican in name only, and she voted with Republicans 93% of the time. And she ranked out of 17 out of 400 and some odd 70-something legislators. What are you talking about? What? You don't like her. She doesn't like Trump. That's why you don't like her. That doesn't make her a RINO. You just don't like her. I don't like her either. Doesn't make her a RINO. You like Thomas Massie? He's a RINO, so you like RINOs. You just depends on which RINO you like. Come on, give me a break. Have you guys ever gotten high together?
Are you talking about me?
Every time I touch her, she gets high.
I don't know if they meant that kind of high.
Yeah, it was twisted tea or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin pie isn't a real pie. There's no top crust.
Oh gosh, I'm
It's a cake.
I'm locking out.
It's a cake.
I'm not doing the pie debate again.
It's a cake. It's not a pie. It's a half a pie. It's not a pie. It's not a pie. I don't care. If you don't have a top crust, it's not a pie. Sorry. It's a cake. Pumpkin pie is not a pie. A key lime pie isn't a pie. It's like a mousse. It's a lime-based mousse. It's a gelatin. It's not a pie. Pumpkin pie is a gelatin. It's not a pie.
Pumpkin pie isn't gelatin.
Yes, it is. Bullshit, it's not. What do you mean pumpkin pie is not a gelatin? Oh, see, somebody's calling. All right, caller, where are you from? Caller, where are you from?
Hey, Matt, this is Elizabeth Chapale.
Hi. Okay. Elizabeth.
You know who I am.
Now, how do I know who you are?
Because I've called in several times. The only reason why you're seeing my Delaware name,
that's right. That's your
Lenape.
protected name. It's Elizabeth.
Yes.
This is your cover name. Well, you just told everybody. Now I'm going to change it again. So Sapale, and how do you say the last name?
Juanita.
No bullshit. No way.
Wachaka.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Now what? What tribe?
Lenape, which is Delaware.
Really?
And by the way, I don't have to be protected much more because my divorce finally went through. He signed the papers.
Congratulations. What a dick. Good for you.
We can celebrate tonight.
Well, congratulations. I was struggling with the last name. I was so far off. Now, there's not one Native American hockey player, I don't think. So that's probably, I learned most of my pronunciation of last names from hockey, and I got pretty good at it, but obviously I butchered that. But it is Native American. I got that right. And the tribe was what again?
It's Lenape, which is Delaware.
Okay.
It's the Delaware, which is also adopted children of the Cherokees. So in other words, I am Cherokee in Delaware.
Okay, so did I said Cherokee? Did I not?
You said you don't think it's Cherokee.
Cherokee, but you said don't think it's Cherokee, which is not Cherokee. You're right about that.
Okay, but
it's got Delaware.
But it's the way I was pronouncing it is incorrect, of course. But it seemed like it was Cherokee, but it wasn't. It's not pronounced that way. So what's the difference?
The Delawares are a tribe of their own, but in the right before the Trail of Tears, the Delawares are about to die down because of everything that was going on.
Yeah, it's a shitty place to live. It's a shitty place to live. It's Delaware. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, the Delaware was named after the tribe, Lenapes.
Elizabeth, is pumpkin a pie? Is pumpkin a pie? Come on.
Yeah, pumpkin may not necessarily be a pie.
It's a pumpkin.
Pumpkin can actually be.
Yeah, it's a pudding with a crust.
But it might be actually something else because you can actually fry it and boil it as well.
Okay. Yeah, but it's pudding with a crust. So anything with a pudding with a crust is a pie. So
but not necessarily. There may not be crust to it.
So a custard donut is a pie.
A custard donut could be. That's very true because it has a crust.
It's a donut. It's not a pie.
I'm completely out of this conversation.
Listen to me, damn it. A pie has to have at least crisscross crust or a top crust. That makes a pie. Anything else is gelatin and crust. That's my opinion. Like key lime, like lemon meringue pie. That's not a pie. It's not a pie. It's Jell-O filling and egg whip whites. That's not a pie. A pie is blueberry, cherry, apple. Those are pies. A shepherd's pie has a top crust and has vegetables and food. That's a pie. But
a pot pie has a crust.
A pot pie is a pie. Absolutely, a pot pie is a pie. That's absolutely a pie. But you go ahead and close that pie and you turn it into a pocket. It becomes a calzone. That's not a pie.
That's true.
Okay, then pie is most what people consider a pie is not a pie. Cheesecake, is it pie? Well, how the fuck is key lime a pie? Right, how is pumpkin a pie, but cheesecake is a cake? You people suck.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what?
It's very funny, isn't it? The way that things, words kind of go crazy, and it's the English language.
I knew I was wrong back then, and I'm wrong now. But damn it, I'm sticking to it. Pie is indeterminate. And based upon discretion. Elizabeth, congratulations on your divorce. I know that a prick has been in your life for way too long. Can you do me a favor? Be safe, buy a gun, protect yourself, and we love you and appreciate you.
Okay, by the way, you don't want me to buy a gun.
Okay, that's right. Okay, don't buy a gun. Get a big stick with a very large knife at the end.
Remember what?
Yeah, no, I remember. That's why I'm saying.
What
I know. I remember. Don't buy a gun. Just get a big stick. Big stick. Got it?
Or how about a blowgun where you can shoot things out of the blowgun?
I don't want to hear about your sex life. Okay, gotta go.
No,
I know. I'm just messing with you, Elizabeth. I'm pulling your Larry.
I know. Remember that when I got suspended off the bus?
Yes, I know. You told me. I'm pulling your Larry. I gotta go. I gotta get my wife out of here. She's in need of some therapy. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
She's awesome. All right, everybody, listen, we're going to leave. Thanks, everybody. Apple pie, can I have one or two crusts? Both are pie. Apple can have crisscross pie or covered pie. That makes it a pie. But there's no such thing as an open apple pie because that wouldn't be open pie. That would be cobbler. Listen, I can argue about anything, even when I'm wrong.
He's trolling everyone.
I'm trolling you guys. It's just like last time, and you're falling for it.
Exactly.
Look at everybody.
That's
Bye.
like, nope.
I'm not doing this.
No, that's why I'm staying out of this conversation. It got a little heated last time.
It did. I made Olivia mad. She slapped me afterwards. Listen, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for a good conversation. Nobody take anything personal. We're all friends. We're all family. We may disagree on things. Hey, Nikki Haley, listen, I'm not telling you. Here's the great thing. I'm not saying that Nikki Haley is going to be Donald Trump's pick. Right now with the numbers, he'd be a fool not to. But things can change. If she doesn't show up well in Iowa and she doesn't show up well in New Hampshire, it's a moot point. So let's just see what happens. And remember, none of this is important. None of this matters. The president is inconsequential in your life. Vote for your town city council, for your state legislature, your county clerk, your sheriff, your school board. Those are the things that will impact your life. Those are the things that will change your life. Not the president of the United States, okay? God bless. Go buy something. Go buy a shirt. Nah, I'm never wrong, Amy. You can't do that. Go buy a shirt. Olivia's wearing the Make Women Female Again. You can stop by thedumshow.com, get some coffee, get some shirts, get some hats. You can use code DUM10 to save 10%. Thanks so much, everybody. God bless. We love you all.
Stop by YouTube, 85.
I know. We're at 915. We're this close on YouTube, folks. Please help us. If you're not on YouTube yet, just go over there and create an account. I know all of you aren't over there. So go over to YouTube, look up at The Dumb Show. Please join us. God bless. Have a great night. We'll see you next week on Monday. Talk to you later. Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and
Tom
Mike.
is doing it. That's right, Tom. I've had cobbler with crust on the top and bottom. I guess that was an actual pie. There you go, Tom. Let him have it. Let him know it's stupid. It's stupid.
You're being a troll. Knock it off.
I'm not being a troll.
You are being a troll.
It's
Honest,
stupid.
Direct,
I'm
unfiltered.
gonna go have some cherry
Monday,
pie.
Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree. We can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.